Straight ahead on KMVT's News at 10, the latest on Tuesday night shootout that has left one man dead.
And then we begin our look at organ transplants tonight, just what's involved in the whole process.
And most of the rain showers have begun to push on out of the area, but a few more are likely. But changes for the end of the week and the weekend. We're talking about chilly temperatures. We'll tell you about that in your Weather Authority forecast. But first, KMVT News at 10 starts right now.
Breaking news alerts, top stories, and your Weather Authority forecast. This is KMVT's News at 10.
Good evening, everyone. The investigation continued today into this week's shooting just southeast of Murtaugh. The Twin Falls Prosecutor's Office has not yet released any new information. What we do know is that 2 men are recovering from gunshot wounds and that a 3rd man has died the result of those gunshot wounds. So far, no names have been released or charges filed. Investigators closed off the crime scene area surrounding 2 homes, 4 cars, including a burned-out Suburban.
Well, 2 young men have been charged in the Applebee's robbery case. 19-year-old Jorge Banuelos and 20-year-old Brandon Galbraith. Now, they are accused of robbing the Applebee's on Blue Lakes back in January. And Twin Falls police say the night manager was approached by a hooded man with a handgun after the restaurant had closed. Now, police believe it was Banuelos and charged him with robbery with a weapons enhancement. Jerome Sheriff's officials helped in this investigation.
This week's news broke of a California cow infected with mad cow disease. Now, officials say the disease did not pose a threat to people. They say the animal's meat never made it into the food chain. KMVT spoke to the executive vice president of the Idaho Cattlemen's Association. He credits the testing process for catching the case.
It's actually a testament to our testing procedures to be able to catch this. It was caught in normal standard testing procedures. Actually, before the rendering process, this animal was never destined for the food chain, nor was it at ever any risk of entering into the food supply.
CBS News reports that this is the first case of mad cow disease since 2006. A new business is headed to Jerome. The old Con Paulus car dealership will be home to old Hickory Buildings. They manufacture small sheds, cabins, and a variety of other small movable buildings. They will build the structures on site as well as sell them there. The company is based out of Tennessee. They told the city they'll be selling their products in retail locations in Utah, Wyoming, and of course here in Idaho. The manufacturer could bring in up to 75 jobs. Old Hickory Buildings is going to lease half of the old Con Paulus building. The other half is still up for lease.
Well, we've all heard how by donating our organs we can give the gift of life. Well, exactly how does the process work? KMVT's Jay Michaels lifts the cover on organ donation to share the hope it can bring to families who need it.
When it comes to organ donations, St. Luke's Magic Valley has teamed up with Intermountain Donor Services in Salt Lake City, Utah for years now. So what happens when an organ donor is in a serious accident and it's time to harvest their organs?
The process works very effectively. Once we identify that we have a potential donor, a phone call is made to Intermountain Donor Services, and then they partner very closely with us every step of the way, including our communication and interactions with the patient's families.
Leonard says then Intermountain Donor Services and the doctors evaluate the patient and move forward with the process if it's appropriate. The patients who will receive the organs are already on a waiting list. So how does Intermountain Donor Services get the organs where they need to go in time?
We typically will fly on Lear jets, and it's not because they're so much fun, it's just they're so fast and our time constraints are very tight. And they tend to be able to fly in all sorts of weather, so it's not like we would have to be driving up through a horrible storm. We can fly.
In the end, organ donation has a ripple effect. Well, at first the donor's family has to work through grieving the loss of their family member. It's amazing how many other lives can be touched because someone signed up to be an organ donor.
It does make a big difference in the lives of the recipients, but it makes an equally as big a difference in the lives of the donor's family. Oftentimes that's the only hope we have to offer them, is the donation from their loved one has the potential to save 9 other lives.
Jay Michaels, KMVT News.
Tune again tomorrow when Jay Michaels tells us how the Lions Eye Bank in Boise works and how many of your friends and neighbors benefit from their efforts in part 2 of his series about organ donations.
Well, the Ageless Senior Citizen Center in Kimberly is new and improved. The center held an open house today to celebrate the newly renovated center. All this wouldn't be possible if it weren't for Nora Anderson, a local resident who passed away. Anderson left the center with money and a number of entities she used to frequent the center and eventually use the Meals on Wheels service. Because of her generosity, the senior center has a new roof, flooring, carpet, and much more.
We just think this is beautiful, and we really, really appreciate what everything that's been done for the center and to enhance it.
Well, bless her. The center services the communities of Kimberly, Hanson, and Murtaugh. The facility offers lunch and salad bar for seniors Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Meals on Wheels are also available to qualified applicants.
With the primary just a couple of weeks away, the Mini-Cassia area residents had an opportunity tonight to hear from local candidates. Cassia County Republicans sponsored a Meet the Candidates night at Burley High School's Little Theater. Candidates running for state senate, county commissioner, and county sheriff all spoke tonight. There are a number of contested races this year, including the Senate seat from District 27.
We started with revenues at $3.2 billion in 2008 and have cut government by over one-third during the last 4 years. We took government down to $2.3 billion.
Out of 950 some odd state senators in Idaho history, only 5 have served longer than Senator Dean Cameron. I mention that because seniority and tenure are issues that are important to this campaign.
Idaho's primary will be held May 15th. For more information, please visit our website.
Well, more than 50 businesses were gathered under one roof in Burley today for a special women's gathering. The Mini-Cassia Chamber of Commerce's Women's Seminar and Expo was held at the Best Western Burley Inn. Now, the year's theme was Be Your Own Kind of Beautiful. The event was a chance for ladies to get away from the daily grind and to learn more about health, happiness, and fashion.
We've been doing this for 9 years. It gets women together to get to know each other, help with their business or relationships.
Smith says this was an opportunity to showcase Mini-Cassia area businesses as well as helping women network and find support. She says the expo also helped women understand the dynamics of their own businesses.
All right, Brian joins us now with our first look at the weather. You hit the forecast right on the head. A lot of rain today.
Yeah, we saw in some places near a half an inch of that wet rain, and other places a little bit more. Most of that's come to an end, but a few stragglers are still in place. But it makes for some nice sunsets if you get a break. Take a look at some of the pictures some of our viewers sent in here. This come after the storm from Nancy Marshall, you can see, but showers didn't move in here. We have one more to show you as well, and this comes from Marvin Gartner. Again, right after the storm, and you can see the beautiful colors as well. Thank you guys so much for sending in your photos. But there's that heavy rain that we saw. Then the little wave coming through here, and that kind of made its way through. Now we're seeing just isolated to scattered showers around the region, and we might have that tonight and into tomorrow. High temperatures, though, early on, you can see Jerome 70, but you go to Gooding 59. It was never able to get that warm. And then temperatures now are in the 40s for most location. And as you see here now, 45 Twin Falls, 43 Jerome, 45 in Burley, and those winds are going to pick up, and those temperatures are going to be chilly for tomorrow morning. We will have the rest of your forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks. Drivers need to be aware of some changes to Addison Avenue this Friday. According to Twin Falls City, work crews will restrict traffic down to one lane. Now, this will happen at the intersection of Addison and Hankins. Flaggers will be there to guide traffic through. Crews will be installing sewer lines as part of that Northeast Sewer project. Two-way traffic should open back up by the end of the day.
Well, still ahead, the trial of a former presidential candidate entered its third day today. A look at what happened is coming up next.
It's back by popular demand.
Folks, you asked for it, and we're bringing it back.
Double rebates.
What? We're doing it again? Double rebates? We're going to be so busy.
Right now, you can choose any new car, new truck, or SUV, and we'll match the manufacturer's rebate.
Double rebates for a limited time. Only at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Twin Falls.
Folks, at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Twin Falls, we'll beat anybody's deal.
This portion of the news is brought to you by
OK Tire. Need inexpensive getting-by tires? It's the OK Tire Team. Want the best technology? Lowest cost per mile for your car or truck? It's the OK Tire Team. ATV tires. These are the best. From 6-ply Dirt Devils to ultra-tough smooth-riding radials. Or hard-to-find tires for mower, wheelbarrow, or farm equipment. Where else? It's the OK Tire Team. With 500 store buying power, it's the OK Tire Team.
So for total car care, call the action people. OK Tire Team.
I played baseball my whole life, and I got injured, and I was unable to swing and throw, so I had to eventually get surgery on my shoulder. I went to CPR. Julie Ellis and the staff were great. They're very friendly, and they really seemed to know what they were doing when it came to my recovery. If I hadn't have gone to CPR, I wouldn't be able to swing a bat today. I wouldn't be able to throw a ball.
It's in the news. Property fraud is on the rise.
If you own a vacation or rental home, phony sellers could sell it without you knowing. At Insured Titles, it is our duty to properly identify all parties and make sure they have the right to sell.
Insured Titles will help you protect your financial interest in your property.
So the next time someone asks you,
what title company do you prefer?
Say Insured Titles, serving southern Idaho and beyond.
Alerts and top stories with Joe Martin, Diane Dean, and Chief Meteorologist Brian Newdorf. You're watching KMVT's News at 10.
Lawyers for former presidential candidate John Edwards spent a second day cross-examining his former aide on the witness stand.
Yeah, Edwards is accused in using campaign contributions to hide his pregnant mistress. CBS's Teresa Garcia has the latest.
The prosecution's star witness Andrew Young was cross-examined for a second day. His former boss John Edwards is charged with using illegal contributions from wealthy donors to hide his extramarital affair. But the defense questioned Young on his version of who solicited one of the donors, heiress Bunny Mellon.
Young has testified on direct examination that the checks just started coming. Turns out on cross-examination that before each check came, Andrew Young, in fact, had a telephone call with Bunny, and then the checks came.
The defense also tried to show that Young was wrong in his timeline of how the alleged conspiracy unfolded, especially on the issue of Mistress Riel Hunter's pregnancy.
A large part of this case is that when they found out she was pregnant, they panicked to get her money. We know now that she didn't announce her pregnancy until the 11th of July, but that was after over $100,000 worth of checks had been received.
Testimony also revealed that John Edwards once gave his own ATM card to Riel Hunter, but his wife Elizabeth noticed suspicious withdrawals and he had to find another way to get money. When questioned, Young denied he was the source of the National Enquirer, which broke the story. The government granted Young immunity from prosecution in exchange for his testimony. Dick Brennan for CBS News, Greensboro, North Carolina.
Another news tonight, a Filer High School student has been chosen to represent the state of Idaho in the nation's capital this summer. The Idaho Dairy Council has provided $2,200 in grants to Filer High School for a program called Fuel Up to Pay 60. The idea is to get students to eat healthy foods and exercise for an hour every day.
So yeah, we did a little classroom activity to get the kids moving, and then after we gave them milk, which is obviously milk helps your bones and calcium and stuff like that. So that's the fuel up part. So exercising and then eating the right stuff.
Ashley and her teacher Janice Brown will go to a summit in Washington, D.C. to fine-tune the program to be used at their school next fall. Members of the dairy industry have also donated milk as well as enough cheese for the 400-plus students at Filer High School.
That's got to be a lot of cheese.
Yeah.
Well, this evening we head across the border and into Nevada. The Jackpot Combined School is in a unique area adjacent to casinos and in the middle of the desert.
Brittany Cooper shows us what the school has to offer in this week's Jelastic Spotlight, which is brought to you by the Star Corporation.
Many of us have traveled through Jackpot or played in the casinos. But for a number of the parents whose kids attend the school, what's one's entertainment is another's job.
We're blessed with having a lot of wonderful people in this community that want their kids going to school here, and that they're vested in their kids' education here in Jackpots.
The community is small, and so is the population of the school. Around 75 students are at the junior and senior high school level, while just over 100 students attend the elementary school.
We know every student in this school. We know all of their parents. We know their family situations, and it's very few that fall through the